Ladies, Germans, Russians, and people who know what Sukker Blatt means. I'm pronouncing that terribly, but Andy here, the Ian Winner Show, let's fucking go. This is an interview I did with one of my listeners, a guy called Ivan from Germany, and holy crap, this was an interesting episode. I had no idea what to expect when he was coming on because he reached out and left a comment and he said, I got a bunch of interesting stories about getting laid and stuff like that. I'd love to share them with you. And his first couple of stories were so fucking interesting that we didn't actually even get onto the topic of getting laid. We talked about his magic mushroom trip, which was what sounds like the worst trip I have ever heard anybody have in my entire life. He was like completely out of it for half the time. He ended up on a farm trying to steal a tractor. Police got involved. He almost got hit by cars walking down the middle of the road. He thought he was getting attacked by some strange guy in the middle of the woods. It's an insane story. We also talked a little bit about porn and why people have this weird fetish of stepdaughters or stepsisters, I should say, getting stuck in cupboards and taking advantage of. I think you guys are going to love this. If you like this episode, leave a comment below and let me know what you think of it. Because if you guys like this one, I'm going to have him on the show again. He's got like a bunch more stories. I think you guys are going to love this. Enjoy. I watch way more porn than I want to. That's something I think at some point I'll make it my goal to just like cut it off or at least watch it like once a month maybe. At this point in time, I'm watching it like probably like twice a week, maybe 3 times a week. I'm trying to get it down to once a week. How the hell did you go 6 months without looking at porn? How does someone even do that?
I'm trying to make myself busy, and do not give it like a big shit about it. And thoughts are coming in my head and other things. I'm trying, like, I don't know, doing something else, like I don't know, going to the kitchen, make some food, I don't know, go outside, meet some friends, and so on. Basically, I'm working like a 9-to-5 job too, so that's like distracting me too from the porn and everything that usually I would watch like in the free time. And so
you have to keep busy. You have to have something to do. I did a podcast a while ago talking about like how to quit porn. You have to have something to replace it with. You can't just sit there in your room going, I'm not going to look at porn. I'm not going to look at porn. I'm not going to look at porn. That's still obsessing about porn. You're still focusing on porn. You have to kind of go away and like build your own life and have something exciting that you want to do to replace it with. You can't just sit there and quit an addiction. You need to replace an addiction with something else.
If you're like thinking all the time, I'm not watching porn, I won't watch porn and everything, then it will be 100% that you're going to Pornhub and look at this shit.
Because you're still giving power to it. You're making it this powerful thing. If you say, I can't look at porn, you're still thinking about porn. Just because you're not watching it doesn't mean you're not thinking about it. So the idea is, like you said, just make it not a big deal. Like it's not a big deal. I don't give a shit about porn, as you said. I don't give a shit about porn. Why would I look at porn? I don't need to. I have other stuff to do.
Go outside and, like, I don't know.
Look at a tree. Go outside and hug a tree. It's not like we're saying ignore your sexual urges forever. We're not saying cut your dick off or anything like that. We're saying instead of looking at porn and focusing on porn, go focus on like real women outside. Like go on dates, go talk to women, go have sex, like that kind of shit.
This was my fucking problem, with this shit, that I was like, when I started quitting porn and masturbation and everything, I was thinking like, this is bad. It's bad to have like sexual thoughts. It's bad to look at women.
A lot of guys do that. In terms of like, now that you're not looking at porn, you haven't looked at porn for 6 months, like how has that affected your life? Like what positive things have come from that?
Well, I completely, like, I don't know, forgot the half of shit I looked at. I had like some kinky stuff where I liked myself, like especially, I don't know, like for example, I don't know, stepsister. stuck in the sink.
Into all the kinks, son. Straight in with the kinks. Go for it. Go metal.
Okay, stepsister stuck in the sink, and somebody goes and fucks her.
That's a weird meme. If nobody has seen that, all of a sudden, there's a bunch of like videos with, like you said, like a stepsister or someone who just gets stuck in a cupboard or something, and the guy comes up and he's like, oh, why are you stuck in the cupboard? And she's like, help, and he's like, I guess I'm gonna fuck you. Like, that's a weird meme right now. There's like a bunch of videos like with that theme. I don't know why. Also, how do you know that that's a thing? You're not supposed to be looking at porn.
Well, dude, it was like 2 years ago or something,
Yeah, fine.
The meme started, so...
Yeah. It's still popular now, dude.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah. But like,
Everybody's like talking.
it's the weirdest fetish ever. If you like it, like, more power to you. But like, do you ever sit there and look at porn? Obviously, you're not looking at porn now, but like, when you were looking at porn, some of the stuff in there is so weird. It's like, but when you're turned on, it's really hot. Like, it's
Yeah,
obviously it's a good fantasy. But like, how did someone come up with that? You know what I mean? Like who thought of? Who was the first person to think of that? It's very, or did it actually happen in real life? Like, do you think some stepsister actually got caught with her head in a cupboard, and then she had sex with her stepbrother or something, and they were like, "Wait, this was really hot. We should like publish this. We should teach other people this."
it
like how does
it
this
will
shit
be
start?
it will be more realistic if she got her head stuck like in a wash machine or somewhere, but not like in a sink. So
But what's she
maybe
doing? Like, how does one? How do you even get your head stuck in there? Just pull it out. However you went in, just come out the exact same way. Like your head
yeah,
doesn't get stuck because you're in the sink. Like it doesn't just your head doesn't get bigger when you like. How did you get stuck?
it's
And
like the
shouldn't you
same.
call like the police or the ambulance or the fire department or something? Like, what if she
If you
hurts
got,
herself?
dude, if she got like a step bro, why not? Okay, it's like I don't know it's the principle is like with the ring, and I ordered myself a ring, and it goes inside, but outside I can like pull it out normally. So
Yeah, but that's your finger. That's not
it's
the
like
same as like your entire head getting bigger when you go into the sink.
it's the
I've
same
never
shit
seen
with your
anyone's
head.
head. I don't think it expands that much. We need to do a test. I'm after this call, I'm gonna get a measuring tape and I'm gonna measure my head and I'm gonna see if it gets bigger when I put it in the sink.
Maybe that's because of the skin. He has like hard skin and everything. You got like bones and brain right here. If you're going right into and trying to go out, it's like the cheeks and everything is like squished, and so in that
Okay,
layer of the
okay,
skin
yeah.
is like
It's like a cat can go in sometimes and then they get stuck when they're pulling back out.
yeah.
Okay, okay. I feel like this is a very someone's gonna listen to this is a very okay, this is a very German conversation. Like to be talking
Yeah.
about like engineering and like how it works and like over analyzing it and getting too analytical and stuff. And everybody else is just like listening to this and saying like, just shut up and watch the porn, you idiots. Why you guys care if it's realistic or not?
And you're going like I don't know masturbate for like 3 or 4 times in the day. This the same evening, yeah. That's from one side of from one side. It's sad too, but
Hmm.
maybe some dudes will realize in the future that it's not like the way life is used to be.
As in porn, as in like having that much porn.
Yeah, watching so much porn and
Yeah.
everything.
Yeah. Yeah, but I feel like you could say that about a lot of things in current
Yeah.
society. Like porn is like sexuality on hyperdrive, but so is
Yes.
like social media and so is like the internet. A lot of the stuff that we have right now, it's almost like our brains haven't caught up yet. Like we're not prepared for that level of information, I guess. Like porn is just too much stimulation, like coming at you all at once. And you can just have like 50 browser tabs open all at once and look at like 50 different videos. And you can just have any type of woman or sex you want. It's like, it's not realistic, but your brain doesn't know that. So your brain just sees it and goes like crazy. Same with social media. Like 50 years ago or 20 years ago, you couldn't just go on like Twitter, for instance, and have arguments with like 100 people or watch the news and have the news like, make you feel all these emotions and stuff like that. Everything we have on the internet is like hyperdrive. It's like, it's almost like too much.
Yeah.
And we're just like these dumb monkeys that are just like, oh, I like this stimulation or this is exciting. And you just like keep absorbing it more and more and more.
Just like being picky in Pornhub and scrolling like I don't know to like 258 page and
Yeah.
searching
There's like infinite porn.
for the best video. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. No,
I've
I
se-
hate that, dude. I tell you what, that's one thing that you got to be like glad now that you're not watching porn. The most frustrating thing, and every guy listening to this is going to know exactly what I'm talking about. It's when you're like close to coming, like you feel like you could come, but you're like, this video
Yeah,
isn't perfect enough. This isn't the right video.
I
And you
know you
just
did.
wait, you just waste like an hour, like a fucking hour, like trying to find, and then finally, like you just can't handle it anymore, and you accidentally come, and you're like, "Fuck, that wasn't the right video, though. I'm a loser. Why couldn't I hold off? Like, why couldn't I just find that perfect video?" It's like a drug addict or something. You're like trying to find that like perfect, like high, and that video doesn't exist. There's like never a
Yeah.
video that you're like, this video's. If there was, you would just go back to the same video. You just watch that next time. But like,
Dude, you can't really imagine how many times I had this shit. Yeah, you're watching
Yeah.
one video, then you're like till the end, you're like joking off to the end, you're feeling like it's going out.
Hmm.
I think, nah, I don't want like to ejaculate to this video. Let's go to
Yeah, yeah,
another
yeah,
one.
yeah,
And
yeah. This one's not good enough. She's not good enough. Like, yeah,
yeah,
it has to be amazing. And then you go to the amazing video and you're like, but what if you watch the amazing video and then you're like, but what if there's a better one? Like, what if this wasn't the amazing one? I thought it was the amazing one, but what if there's a better one? And then you go searching for that. And then after like an hour, like you can't find it. So you go back to the original one, but it's not exciting now because you already watched it. And like, sometimes, I tell you what, sometimes I do hate fucking being addicted to porn. Like, I'm going to have to join you and
sometimes
stop watching.
sometimes it happens so that you're like watching the second video and you're thinking, yeah, maybe the last one was better, and you're going back to the last one and watching the last one.
You're
I had
describing like my life, dude. Like,
I had like, I don't know, big like when I was 16 years old or somewhere like till like end 16 or start 17.
hmm.
I was like watching a lot of anime and everything, you know. Like
You
I
got it. My boy got into the hentai, didn't you? You got into the hentai. So did I.
yeah,
That was
yeah.
how I first started looking at porn. Seriously, like hentai, because I was like, it's not bad. In my head, I was like, it's not bad. It's just cartoons. Like I'm not looking at porn. It's okay. Like, yeah,
Like you're thinking, dude, some like creepy Asian dude wrote it, like drew it and everything, and you're like masturbating
yeah,
to
like
his like
hand
art and
animated
everything.
it. Yeah,
Yeah.
took so
You're
long
mas-
to draw it.
you're like so driven by his animations that you're like masturbating to it. That's like, I don't know, the biggest ego boost for the dude who made it. Yeah.
You reckon? You reckon it would be like an ego boost? Do you reckon? Do you reckon they count like how many people like watch their video, how many people come and they're like, yeah, I did a good job.
Yeah.
I made like 5,000 orgasms happen from this.
You know,
I'm changing lives.
there's like normal artists and some like, I don't know, fans who like his art and everything. They're like coming and looking at the pictures or what he drew and thinking, "Whoa, that's nice." And he's like, you know, flexing and bragging to the hentai dude. Like,
Hmm.
I got like a big fan base and everything, and the second dude comes in and tells, "Bro, they're like masturbating to my shit and what they're telling to me."
Yeah, but that's kind of your job. Okay, okay. Like slight tangent. Serious, serious, serious. I'm going to say something serious. Guys,
Yeah.
if there are any artists or girls, if there's any artists out there and you do art and you want to make some money, I'm not even fucking joking. Get into it's called furry porn. Like, do you know what furry porn is? Like the weird
Uh,
I say weird, I
Furry?
shouldn't fucking yeah, like furry porn.
Oh,
Where
for
they
fuck's
draw
sake.
like
I
you know, like the
haven't
furry
watched it,
people.
but I know what's that, but I
Yeah,
haven't
yeah, yeah,
watched
yeah,
it.
yeah. Get into that, guys. Seriously, if you're an artist and you want to make money, there are websites dedicated to this where people pay you. They'll pay you like $50, and you just have to draw like a furry. It doesn't even have to be naked. It just has to be like sexy, right? And like you draw that shit, and they'll give you like $50. I'm not joking. There's like fucking 10 websites dedicated to this because my girlfriend Imogen researched this. We researched this shit.
Yeah.
Like she was about to do it because she's an artist, and I was like, you should probably try it. And she's like, isn't it like prostitution? And I was like, I don't think so because you're just drawing it. Like it's not. You don't have to do anything. Like, but she's like, I don't know.
You're not
it feels
showing your
kinda weird.
tits, you know.
Yeah, you just have to draw tits
Yeah.
on like a furry, like a wolf or something. So guys, I'm serious. Like, look into that shit. If you're an artist and you want to get rich, go research that shit. And you can give me credit when you become like a super famous, like you own a yacht, you have like a Lamborghini and shit because you draw like, yep, get a Wacom tablet. I got mine in the cupboard. Let's do it, dude. Let's start drawing like furry porn.
We'll make it.
I can't draw for shit. I can't draw for shit though, but like, let's do it.
I can't like, I don't know, draw like perfectly, but I don't know, like
As long as you can draw the tits. If you can draw good tits, I feel like that's all that matters.
2 circles and 2 dots.
That's
It's
what I
enough.
mean. Yeah. We
Yeah.
used to. That was what we used to do in high school. We used to. You draw a circle.
Mhm.
We used to do it on the calculator. You do like an
Yeah.
O, like a circle, and then you do a Y, the letter Y, like a capital Y, and then you do another
Yeah, yeah.
O, so it looks like boobs, with the cleavage in the middle.
We had like the same shit, but with our phones, and we like tried to write the word boobs with like with numbers, you know.
Yep, 80085. Yeah.
Yeah, we had like some crazy shit like this.
Yeah, yeah. You can write a bunch of like dirty words like that. All right,
So
let's talk about because I want to. You told me a bunch of stuff you wanted to talk about, and
yeah,
I
no
want to
problem.
ask you. I don't know which one I want to ask you. Your embarrassing story. You tell me which one you think is more exciting. Embarrassing stories with girls or your story of taking magic mushrooms and the police getting involved. Which one is more exciting? Because I don't know what the
They're
stories are.
they're both crazy as fuck, you know.
Okay, go.
It's like
Just pick one. Just pick one.
okay, let's start like with the mushrooms and everything because it was like I
Okay,
don't
go.
know, maybe half a year ago or something. So you know, I'm living like near the border with Netherlands and everything, and in
Okay,
Netherlands you
so
can
they
like
just have like free drugs and they just yeah, every drug you want.
it's legal, you know. You can buy it in like some
Are magic
smart shops.
mushrooms legal?
Truffles, yes, you can buy truffles without any problems. You just go in, tell them like what do you want, like do you want more hallucinations, do you want more like
What,
some
and you in
emotional
a
shit.
store? You mean like in a store?
In a smart shop, you know, where they like coffee shops and everything,
I
you
gotta
can
go to
buy it,
Amsterdam. I gotta go there.
you can go. But I don't know
Okay.
like about Amsterdam and everything. I heard like they're maybe illegal there, maybe not, I don't know.
Hmm.
If I'm wrong then I'm wrong, but I heard like there was like a lot of accidents happening in Amsterdam. A dude jump straight out of the bridge on the mushroom trip. So
Hmm. Yeah, but
and
that stuff always like
yeah, I think so.
I always roll my eyes when they point out that someone tripped on like LSD or magic mushrooms and killed themselves. And I'm like, how many fucking people die from alcohol every day, you fucking retard? Like why doesn't
It's like
anyone care about that stuff? That's like hundreds
200%
of
more.
thousands of deaths. Yeah, yeah. Like how many people die
Yeah.
from liver poisoning and blah blah blah. Anyway, I'm interrupting your story. I will stop. I will get off
So,
my soapbox. You tell your story. I will not
uh,
interrupt.
I recently moved out from my sister,
Hmm.
and I was thinking I need to do something because I'm free right now. I'm living my own life right now without like any family involved. My family is like far, far away from me.
Hmm.
And I was thinking I need to do something. I always wanted to try mushrooms or like I don't know
Okay.
truffles and everything. I didn't know how they function. I think like they're like walking like weed, but with more like hallucinations and everything. You
So
can
so
still like controlling yourself.
I'll interrupt and say anyone listening, if you're thinking about doing magic mushrooms or LSD or anything like that, please do some research. Please don't just take them.
Yeah,
Like,
don't be like me, okay?
don't just yeah, okay, keep going. Yep.
It's going to be hard. Or it's going to be crazy right now.
Okay.
So I didn't know how they worked and everything. I picked up like just a couple of boxes with them that's like 15 grams. And I went to the store and told them I want like the craziest shrooms you can like give me.
No. Okay. Yeah.
And they gave me. I like checked the scala and everything, how they were, and like there's like you know these levels there and level bars. They were like all fully 100%. That's like hallucinations, like euphoria feeling, high, like happiness, some other shit and everything. So I took the shrooms and everything. I went back to
How much did you I want to know how much you ate.
15 grams.
Why? Why? Did you eat them straight or did you do them in tea or like did you boil them?
Straight because
Why?
the dude was like recommending to me eat everything, so
No.
you'll be like this like the stupidest idea you could ever do. And I don't know why he even told me that. So
Maybe
I
he
took
doesn't
them.
like you.
Maybe I don't know. Maybe
Hmm.
because of my accent when when I was like coming to
Yeah.
Netherlands and I was like speaking Germanish and everything. So
He's like fuck this German asshole. I'm gonna make him like kill himself. Like I'm just gonna give him the worst trip ever. Like yeah.
funny plot twist. I'm a Lithuanian, yeah, but I'm living in Germany. Yeah? But
Then he's
I
gonna hate
learned
you
like,
even more.
okay, so maybe because of this shit, we don't know. Maybe he's like a pessimistic piece of shit or something. Yeah.
Yep, he's racist. Yep.
And I came back. I took them, and how I remember everything, I like sat down, started meditating. I
Okay, good. Yep.
couldn't concentrate because it was like the first time I was a little bit anxious and everything. So
That's
I
why
was
you only
sitting,
take a tiny bit. Anyone
yeah.
listening, if you've never tripped before, take such a small amount that you almost don't feel anything. Yep.
So I took them. I was sitting. The first 55 minutes came in. I
Okay.
started feeling like this small hallucinations and everything, and this euphoric feeling like, whoa, that's like freaking cool. Like the walls are
Yep.
the
Yep.
walls are moving, curtains are like waving and everything. I remember I was like a little bit hungry or something, which is like a bad idea too. Never eat like something when you are taking shrooms.
Mm-hmm.
That's like a very, very bad idea.
Mm-hmm.
So I went to my kitchen and everything. And yeah, and I remember I was taking like flakes. I don't remember. I don't know how it's called like in English, the flakes, but let's call them like just flakes, like this when you're like pouring milk and everything and you're eating them. It's like not like cornflakes and everything, but like the healthiest shit you
You
could
just
ever
mean like
do.
cereal, like
No, it's not cereal. I'm making like, let's Google this shit. I know how they.
Google this shit live on stream.
Okay, it's called.
Cornflakes.
No, it's not called cornflakes.
It's called Kids Don't Take 15 grams of magic mushrooms. Please.
Yeah, that's a
Please don't do that. And you haven't even
oats.
finished the story. Yep, go.
It's called oats. Yes. Yep.
Oats. Okay, fine. Yes, oats.
So I
Everybody knows what
poured
oats are.
like
Yep.
100 gram of oats and everything, and
With milk or just by
I
themselves?
remember I'm putting like usually like a protein powder inside it
Okay.
and some nuts and everything, and
Okay.
pouring some like low fat milk. And
Okay,
I remember looking at this oatmeal like cereal and everything, and it's like moving, and so you're seeing like the small bubbles and everything. You're thinking, man, it's like looking nice. Then I started to eat it and looked through the window what's going on there outside, and this is like the red flag for me. When you're like taking shrooms and LSD, always have like a mate who is like watching it,
like a babysitter. Yep.
which I didn't had. I was alone.
Oh
I took my headphones, earplugs, went outside. I was like the nicest.
Okay, and I'm just going to interrupt again. Going outside on your first trip when you're tripping really bad is probably also a really bad idea because you're going to get really anxious because other people are there. You're going to get lost. You don't know your way back home. You're going to start crying because you're like, I don't know how to get home. I don't know where I am.
The story gets more interesting. I was like the happiest person alive. I was like greeting everybody, every neighbor. I was saying, hey, hello, and everything. And they were like smiling back to me. And I was like thinking, that's like a beautiful day. Everybody needs to try this shit, that must be like be shown to the world. And so I went out to this forest, like I've seen some wild animals and everything, seen like leaves, like water. I remember like, I don't know, there were like kids living nearby, and I've seen like this small hut they built from like branches and everything. And I was thinking, wow, how cool is that? Like remembering your childhood and everything, how you done yourself the shit,
Yeah.
I remember like taking a picture on my phone, like from this hut and everything, so I can remember how it was like after the trip.
It never looks the same when you look at it later. Yeah. I have pictures from LSD trips I've done, and it just looks like a normal picture.
Yeah. So everything went smooth. I was like thinking I will be definitely doing this again, maybe. So I tried to go back home. This was like 1.5 hour later. The trip was a little bit stronger at this point, so I was like starting to feel uh, more hallucinations and everything. And I seen a dude like I smelled some marijuana, in the woods. And
yeah,
where this like it's going right now.
you didn't
I
find
yeah,
people and then take weed as well, did you?
I took. But that's like normally like when I would be sober, I would never do this shit, like from strange people, you don't know if that's like marijuana or something, yeah.
Yeah.
But I was like on shrooms and everything was like smooth for me, fine. I seen flowers, like I seen everything. Sun was shining, it was warm, and I seen this dude. He was like taking a bong in the woods. He was like,
okay, I want to know after you finished the trip, was this guy real or was this guy like a hallucination? Like
it was real because
okay.
I was diagnosed that I had like THC in my body.
Okay.
So this was real, yeah.
Okay. Yep.
So I remember making a small talk with him and was asking what he's like up to, and so he was like, what could he be up to if he was like smoking weed and chilling in the woods? And I was like telling him, hey dude, I'm like tripping on shrooms right now too. So like it's a beautiful day and so on. So the dude told me like, do you want to smoke some weed too? I was like, okay, one hit. That won't like give me some shit or everything. It will be like more relaxed, I think, at this point. But
by the way, okay, I'm going to interrupt and say, guys, don't mix drugs as well. If you're taking a drug that you've never taken before, don't mix other stuff as well. Yep, keep going.
So this was like the stupidest idea number 8, maybe, at this point.
Yeah.
And well, you know that with like increasing the trip shit that you are having in your head, yeah?
Yep.
Like 10 times or something.
Yep.
I took it, and I'm not like a big fan of bongs because all the time I'm like coding and everything from the shit. And it's like staying in your body and your stomach and everything, and it's like it feels like you're going to vomit or something. So I took it and instantly like caught and told the dude, okay, I'm going home. I don't give a shit. I don't want anything, yeah. And the last thing I remember, I seen a straight way that was like, I don't know, 200 meters or something to the forest, and it was like straight. And from the panic attack and everything, I started to have like this bad trip, and I've seen the road like increasing and increasing. It was like longer and longer. It hadn't had like the end or something.
Yeah, I'm never going to escape. Yeah, it's going to go on forever.
And then my heart started to beat like crazy. And I started like imagining if that dude was like, I don't know, a thief or something, and could like murder me or something right now, because we were like 2 guys in the forest like tripping on different drugs.
And this is what happens when you're like right in the middle of a trip. Like, this is why you need somebody else there with you. Because if you had somebody else, if I was there with you or one of your mates was there, we'd be like, bro, everything's fine. Like, don't stress. I got you. I'll make sure you get home. I could like literally put my arm around you and say like, come on, I'll walk you home. Everything's okay. Like, and you feel like, okay, this guy will look after me. Like, my friend will look after me. Yeah.
Everything's what you're needing. Like, I don't know, some love and some care from the other person. Then you're like starting to get back into the normal trip. Yeah. So
you need to know everything's gonna be okay.
So I turned around, and at this point, I think that was like a hallucination or something. I turned around, and then that dude was like chasing me. Yeah.
But he wasn't chasing you. You just thought he was.
I don't know what happened there, because
I'm sure he wasn't chasing you, right? Like, why would he chase you? That doesn't. Yeah. Although no. Wait. What if he was worried about you?
Maybe.
And he was like trying to look after you, and he's like trying to come, and he's like, wait, let me help you. And you're like, he's gonna kill me. Like,
yeah, it was like this. Maybe because we had like a small talk, and this small talk like gave us a big connection, a big bound, because he was like, he was like, he could speak Russian. I can speak Russian too. So like two Russian guys, yeah,
How
Russian
do you say
guys.
that? How do you say that? My favorite. It's like suka blat. I can never say it
Su-
correctly.
Сука,
Suka blat.
блядь.
Suka
Сука,
blat.
блядь. Сука,
Yep, that
блядь.
means go say everybody go say that to a Russian person. That means hello. How are you?
Yeah, that means hello. How are you? You can literally go to a Russian girl and say like "сука,
Yep.
блядь," yeah.
Yep.
After
yep.
that,
Yep.
after that, I promise you'll be like not having any approach anxiety or something because you'll be going to everything. Yeah.
Hey, dude, seriously, I have Russian guys that listen to. There are a couple of Russian. I can see like the country of everyone. By the way, Germany is like the fucking third main country, but like there are some Russian dudes listening to this right now.
So hello to the
They're gonna
Russian
like
guy.
this. Oh,
Привет.
hello.
Сука, блядь. So
Okay, so this Russian guy is chasing after you,
yeah, but I
trying to hit
remember
you
he
with
was
vodka bottle.
yeah.
Yep.
I remember. You know why I'm telling like hallucinations and everything? Because I remember the dude was wearing like black leather jacket and everything, and I was like turning around and I've seen him like in a white hoodie. So this was like a little bit strange from one side.
Yeah.
And then I remember like I passed out. I literally crashed into the tarmac, yes, where I've been there. And then the trip started, and I was like hearing music in one side, and you know what's the lo-fi music doing to you when you're like tripping?
So wait, was there actually music, or you think there like your head was making music?
No, it was music. I was hearing
Okay.
lo-fi music
Okay.
through the whole trip, like I don't know, like 2-3 hours. I was hearing to lo-fi music till I got rid of my earplugs.
Okay.
I
Okay.
completely like took them off and threw them away somewhere. But like the next day, the next day I was searching for them there, and I found them. Yeah, I cannot find them right now, but they're like in my room somewhere.
They're
Like,
covered in dirt.
yeah, no,
They're
they're
covered
like
in
clean
weed.
and everything.
Hmm.
Maybe in weed.
So you collapsed, which is like the
I
worst thing to
completely
do if
collapsed.
you think you're being like
Yeah,
chased
I
by
completely
a serial
collapsed.
killer. Why would you
Yeah,
collapse? You said you're being chased by a serial killer. You got to get up and run.
I passed out. I completely passed out.
Your
Then
body wants to
you know,
die. Your body doesn't have like a defense mechanism. Your body thought you
yeah,
were running away, and then it just collapses and gives up. That's
you know,
lazy.
you know the point when the ego death starts.
No, because I've like never fucking taken that many drugs, you idiot. Like I've only had a light ego death. If people don't know what we're talking about, it's where like you take so much of like a hallucinogenic drug, you almost forget that you exist. Like
Yeah,
you stop being yourself. You just
that shit was
yeah.
that shit was literally crazy. And at this point, I started my ego death.
So this is
I
when it
started,
started. Jesus fucking
yes,
Christ, dude. So
with
everything
the
you've just heard was like the lead up. That was all the foreplay, and this is like the actual sex.
with the fucking lo-fi music in the background. Just,
I feel like
just,
that would be fun. I love having music on
just
while you're
fucking
tripping.
imagine. Just fucking imagine, man. And
So
I've been
so
like
okay.
I've
So
been
what
like in
happened?
my,
Like
I've been like in my childhood. I remember like playing in the sandpit with my friends with a girl I was friends with like when I was 7 or 6 years old with a dude like he's like my best friend from Lithuania. And we were like all playing. Then I was like skipping to the forest again. I've seen like leaves and everything. I woke up fast. Then I've seen like patterns, like uh, I don't know if you're like familiar with it, but there was like some shit maybe 3 years ago where they like doing presentations. All the dudes are doing like presentations in school and everything, and they're using like reality-free backgrounds, and they had like this triangle patterns, with like colorful, I don't know, like from red it goes to yellow and so.
okay,
Can I
yeah.
show you? Can I show you to my?
Go. You can show me. I guess I can. I can add it on later, or I can just leave it as a secret that only I see. But you're talking about something that looks like hallucinogen, like psychedelic. We call that like psychedelic, like those kind of images.
I'm searching for it. Oh, I found it. Yes. Can I like show my screen right now?
Go. I don't know. Can you show your screen?
Yes, I can.
You
And
can.
screen two, that's my script. I want to show you my
You
Chrome,
can
yes,
do it in
browser.
there. Look at this. This is so. You better not show porn, or I'm gonna have to delete this. Look
No,
at that.
no, there's nothing. And I hope
I
I
hope
didn't
this
get
shows
doxxed
up
and
in the
everything.
recording. I
You
hope this
seeing it right
shows up
now?
in the recording. Yeah. Yeah, like
So I had,
tessellation kind of pattern.
yeah, had something like this, it was like moving and everything, yeah.
Jesus Christ. Was this with your eyes closed or open, or you
Yeah,
don't even know? Okay.
in a dream state, in a dream state.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay, how can I turn it off right now? Stop share, yes, found it.
Perfect.
So then I remember like cars driving past me. I'm going in the middle of the way. There was like, I don't know, it wasn't like a highway or something, but it was like, I don't know, 2 or 3 cars driving past like in 5 minutes
Well,
or
and you're
something.
just walking on the road?
Yeah, walking on the road like drunk. And I've seen like a lot of cornfields and everything, yes,
Oh my God, dude.
on the sides. And I went there. Then I like woke up for a little and I've seen a tractor standing there. I don't know where the driver was. Maybe he was like taking a piss of somewhere in the woods and everything. Then I like went back to the trip. Then I got back from the trip and I was like climbed up on the tractor and trying to open the doors. I tried to open the doors, but I heard like, hey, from the dude who was like standing behind me. Like, I don't know if he went out from the bushes or something. And he pulled out me from the tractor. And what I remember, I don't know, I'm like happy that I told it, in the trip state that I like took some drugs or something. I don't know how I like told him like this.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I took like shrooms or something. I told him like I took shrooms. I don't know. He like understood that I like took the drugs or something. He seen me like I was, I don't know. It was really fucking bad for me. Like I was nauseous and so on and so on and so on. He took me to the dude who was like leading the farm. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I remember like the gates opened. I went into the farm and I've seen like this dude covered in light like an angel, like something like this shit. Yes. He is like the savior or something. Yes. I remember going to him. He like pulled me straight to the dude, and the dude was telling me what's wrong with you. At this point, I went back to my trip. then I remember he took my head and tried to fucking. There was like a barrel with water, with cold water. He tried
That's
like
not gonna help. That's not gonna help.
That's not fucking gonna help. That was like the shittiest feeling I ever had.
You'd think
the
you're
cold
drowning
water.
or something. You probably think you're
Yeah,
dying. Yeah.
I was feeling like the water wasn't like the water, but it was like heavier and was flowing like slower to my face, and it was freaking cold. And then I had like these mood swings from like shitty to good, from shitty to good, from shitty to good, and I was. That's like a common shit when you're taking too much shrooms, or like repeated thoughts, or like repeated movements or something,
Like you get stuck
shit.
in a loop. You just keep going with thinking the same thing over and over again, like 100,000 times. Yeah.
I had this shit, and it feels like.
That's why you need a friend there. That's why you need a babysitter, because the friend can just tell you everything is okay. And then you'll forget 5 seconds later and you'll start tripping again. But they can say, no, everything is okay. They just have to keep saying it to you like 100,000 times over the next like 5 hours. And then you're okay because they're there.
The second shit I remember after it, they took me back to my home. I literally managed
How?
Tell them the address. I literally managed it, yes. I was like telling them I living there, It wasn't like far away, maybe like 2 kilometers or something. I was visiting them sober, but I haven't talked to them. I haven't met them. So at this point, I don't know, they will like love their asses off if they like will meet me, and I don't know. It would be like funny to meet them too,
Did you tell anyone that you were tripping? Like, did you tell any of your friends?
I needed to tell my sister,
But did you tell anyone before? I mean, like
before I haven't told anybody.
So everybody listening, if you're gonna take drugs, please tell people. Like you have to just tell at least one or two people so they can like make sure that you're okay.
So how does the police got involved? Yes.
Yeah.
Literally, if they would like understand that I was like on drugs and so on, and they would like leave me at home, but they took me right here where I'm living right now, and nobody was there.
Oh no.
For God's sake, there was nobody there. And from one side, I'm kind of like, I don't know, I won't tell happy or something. I was embarrassed at the shit, but now I'm thinking it would be like better, if there was somebody. I don't know. I'm living like with a couple of roommates. They are both women, so that's
They
like,
probably could have looked after you a little bit, yeah.
yeah, they would understand that I'm like on drugs or something. So they called the ambulance, and yeah, I went. I remember they were like pulling me inside the ambulance. I remember this shit what was going there, but I was like mostly blacked out at this place. Yeah, I had like a couple of seconds of this film that I had that I've seen there. Then I remember like laying in the bed, and I was thinking I'm dreaming or something. Yes, in the ambulance and so on. And then I remember like this huge ass skyscraper, and this was like the hospital. They were like pulling me inside it, and I took like the shrooms. It was like 1 p.m. And it ended like at 10 p.m. later. So imagine when I woke up, what for shit I had in my head. Started at home and finished in the hospital. I was like thinking, what the fuck am I doing there? Yeah.
So did you get in trouble or anything? Like with the police? Like
with the police? It's like funny because I didn't have like my shoes. I didn't have like my pants. My phone was my phone was gone. My case were gone, and
your
my
headphones were gone.
Yes, my headphones were gone too. So it was sad from one side. I was thinking, man, where are they right now? Have I had this dude like really stolen everything from me? Between us, I lost one bracelet. I got that like from my sister at my birthday and everything. It was like a nice one too. So that's like sad from one side. Maybe someone took it. Maybe I lost it somewhere in the woods. Now I got another one from a friend.
Nice. Don't lose that. Don't trip on drugs and throw that away. Yep.
Yeah, and half an hour later, the police came in, and I was like thinking, for fuck's sake, now I'm in trouble. Maybe for the tractor, maybe for something, yeah?
Yep.
Maybe for something I will be in trouble. They're giving me my shit back. Like literally everything was packed in my shoes. Like the case, like the phone and everything. The phone was completely dirty. My pants were vomited and wet from the water. And they were like telling me, we need that stuff for later for the diagnose and everything. And I was thinking, now I'm in fucking trouble.
Yeah, I'm in trouble. Yep.
Yeah, I'm in complete trouble. I remember like taking my phone, and I was like thinking, well, I know that I need to call my sister right now, yes? And my sister's like my second mother at this point, because we got like a big age distance. And,
so she's gonna yell at you?
I was like thinking, man, I'm like, I don't know. At this point, I was like chilling around after the trip. I didn't give a shit about anything. So I was like thinking, yeah, I need to call my sister. But no, I called my neighbor, my sister's neighbor. She's like the kindest person I literally knew at this point when I moved to Germany. And I told her completely like the complete story I went through, and she told me, for fuck's sake, you are like moved out for 2 weeks right now. 2 weeks and you got in trouble. she started laughing her ass off, and later on she told me, yes, you know that you still need to call your sister. And I was like thinking, fuck it, okay, I call her. So I'm calling her. I'm hearing she was like doing dinner or something.
Yeah.
And I started like, how are you doing? And I was like, later, I told her, I'm laying like right now in the hospital. I took some shrooms and I had like a bad trip or something. And then like 3 seconds later, I started to hear like, I don't know, she was like screaming her her voice off. I took the phone, uh, placed it somewhere like close to the pillow so I can hear it. And at this point, when it was completely silent in the phone, I haven't heard anything. I took the phone back and asked her the same question again. So what you up to? And then after this shit, she started laughing her ass off, And well, I had like after the trip, I got like a really like better relationship with my sister even. Like
She's probably glad you didn't die.
yeah, because the cars would easily like hit me when I was going to the road. Like
Those
I don't know, the dude
farmers could have beaten you up for you stealing their fucking
with
tractor.
with forks and everything, pitchforks.
Yep.
And the dude in the forest could stab me and take everything what I had.
Yep.
And I don't know. Yeah, there would like be a million possibilities I could like die in this situation. So I don't recommend taking this shit alone without any tripping partner or like
There's
didn't know.
15 things you could have done better. And fair enough.
Yeah.
Okay, you didn't know, but to anyone listening,
Maybe 20.
Yeah. Yeah. Like have a friend there with you. Don't do this stuff alone. Don't do it in such a big dose the first time. Like do research, like know what you're getting into, know what the effects are. Like tell somebody before you trip so people can look after you. Have a plan, like a rough plan. Like I'm not going to leave the house. Your problem was we kind of just didn't have a plan. You just like wandered around and then you get lost.
I had the second trip. And I sit completely at home at my room. Haven't left it. I was curious how the shit would end, with the trip because they were like making me sober in the hospital with this like I don't know
they give you drugs
and everything. Yep. Yeah, so I go sober faster. So I still was curious. I wanted to go till the end. There was like another mushroom trip, but that was like more. I don't know. I was completely alone and tried it at safety with a smaller dose. It was like probably 10 grams and like the weakest ones, the weaker ones. So at this point, I wasn't afraid of it. But between this was like 2 weeks later, I took the shrooms again. So
why so quick, dude? After a trip like that, I would have waited like a year.
I know. So with the police and everything, they haven't told me anything later. They like disappeared.
Yeah, I don't think I remember get in trouble for that.
Yeah, it was like a long time ago, like I don't know, 9 months right now, somewhere.
Yeah. I went to hospital when I took weed. The first time I tried weed, I ended up going to hospital and like there was no problems. Like
yeah. Weed is like, I don't know, beginner shit, for example, with shrooms.
yeah, for sure. Yeah. Well, I'm glad you're not dead. I'm really glad.
I'm glad that I'm not dead, and I learned a lot about the trip, and this like changed my life a little bit about how to worship life more. That you are like alive, that you are like seeing everything there.
Because you had like a near-death experience, or maybe even a death experience.
That's not the first time I had like a near-death experience. I almost went like in a car crash, maybe a couple of times.
That shit changes your perspective for sure.
Yeah,
and like
that shit changes your perspective a lot. So
yeah.
I remember the next day I woke up. They gave me like breakfast and everything, some yogurt shit, which I'm like glad they're like giving you some some stuff. But I still needed to pay for the room in which I was there, so no insurance
Yeah, it's
covered
not
it.
free.
It
They have to
wasn't
pay
free.
the
So
doctors and the nurses.
yeah, so there was a point like there was a young dude coming inside. He was like, I don't know, nurse or something. Yeah.
Hmm.
And I told him like exactly the situation I was going through then with the trip and so, and he laughed his ass off too. So we had like a topic to speak about then. So he brightened my mood at that day. I remember I woke up maybe at 6 a.m. and at 8 a.m. they let me out from the hospital. And I remember pulling my my bed and soaking wet pants on, taking the east, like I don't know. It's like, for example, like when you die in GTA and you're going out from the hospital and you're doing something again, yes. We're starting the game, yes. This was like the same shit. I went out from the hospital. I took the e-scooter and I needed to drive like 6 kilometers to my house from the hospital. It was like far away, and I was driving to the centrum and everything with my soaking wet pants, and they were like vomited completely. But Corona helped me because I was like I put my mask on and everything, so I didn't give a shit at this point. So I went back home. Ate a little bit, and then I was like thinking, man, what the hell? That was like the first time in my life I done some freaking stupid shit.
Like 15 silly things in a row.
Yeah,
It was
so
like a lot of things in a row.
It starts like a chain reaction, no?
Yeah. Yeah, once
like
you're already past that point, it's like too late. It's like
it's
looking at porn.
Yeah.
Once you're horny, once you start looking, you're not going to stop.
The first point is when you get an erection. The second one, when you're like thinking, I need to jerk off. The third one is like, I don't need to jerk off. I don't need to watch porn. And the fifth one, you're like watching porn, jerking off.
I like that we brought it back to porn at the end of it. And I think we should wrap up there. I think that's a perfect note to end on. But I really want to have you on if you're happy to come on again. I want to hear more of these stories next time. I want to hear like your embarrassing girl stories. I want to hear about like the actual stuff that we were going to talk about, which was like you losing weight, you losing your virginity, like the self-improvement shit, which we just didn't talk about because your story was so fucking interesting. I didn't think the story would be that interesting, but holy shit, I'm glad like you got the whole thing out. And at the end, is there anything you'd like to shout out? Would you like to shout out what you get up to, or would you rather keep that anonymous?
Suka bled, don't take drugs alone.
That's not a shout out. That's shouting at Russians. Do you want to shout out your stuff? The stuff you told me about earlier before we went live, or would you rather keep that like not on air?
What shout out? What I was like speaking about games and everything, or what?
Yeah.
I don't know. We can like speak about okay,
like
content creation.
Where can people find? Do you want people? I'm giving you a platform. I'm saying, do you want people to go and check out more of you? You're very entertaining. I'm sure you're this entertaining with the thing that you do. Do you want people to go and follow you?
Twitch.tv/Diesel.
Okay, you're gonna have to spell that, young man. Twitch.tv.
Okay. /D. It's kind of hard to shout it out, or spell it out in English.
Then that means you need a
Twitch name. I can write it, to you. I'll write it.
Send it to me, guys. I'll leave a link in the description below to where you guys can check them out. And like, I hope you're this entertaining. I'm sure you're this entertaining. I hope you're not taking magic mushrooms when you're Twitch streaming, please.
No.
Not anymore.
I'm not drinking alcohol like, I don't know, for how long, since New Year or something.
More power to you, brother. I haven't had a drink since, I think like November last year as well. So good job, dude. Like 6 months sober. Fuck yeah.
I'm not like a big fan of drinking or anything, but I have like these times when you're like visiting your family and you want to have a drink or something, and you're like drinking with your family or with your friends. But normally that's like happening 1 or 2 times a year. So that's not like alcoholism or something. You're like just having a good time with your friends or your family. So yeah.
As long as it's not magic mushrooms. Well, thank you for coming on. I really appreciate you coming on, dude. And guys, go check him out in the description below at Twitch. And don't take magic mushrooms or LSD without someone else there with you.
Yeah.
Hope you enjoyed that interview, guys. I told you it was going to be absolutely insane, and I'm sure he has a bunch more stories. He's given me little hints of a couple of them, and if you guys want me to have him on the show again and get him to tell some of those other stories, leave a link in the, I should say, leave a comment below. Nag him, nag me, and I'll have him back on the show again. I've also left a link in the description to his Twitch channel, so go check him out on there. I'm sure he's just as insane on there as he is, or as he was on this podcast.